Welcome to the Gloria Show, where personal growth takes center stage. Founder and CEO of Personal Dynamics, Gloria Sloan, shares practical strategies to enrich your life, elevate your mindset, and empower your journey. As she reminds us, ultra-successful people never stop learning, reaching, and growing. Get ready for fresh insights and uplifting inspiration. Here's your host, Gloria Sloan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gloria Show. Today, we're talking about personal development and coaching, why they work together, and how they both sit at the heart of growth, clarity, and transformation. This conversation matters because so many people say they want to grow. They want to be more confident. They want more clarity, better habits, stronger relationships. And who doesn't need that? But wanting growth and growing are not always the same thing. So personal development sounds inspiring, and it is. But coaching is often the bridge that helps us move from inspiration into action. It helps connect who we are today and who we want to become. So today I want to unpack that connection to bring more clarity, to bring more understanding between personal development and coaching. I want us to look at what personal development really is, what coaching really does, and why the two work so powerfully together when real transformation for both is the goal. Now, because growth doesn't happen just because we hope for it, we have to work for it and work at it. Growth happens when we become aware, intentional, honest, and willing to do the work. And you've heard me talk about that on the show before, that you have to be intentional about what you want and what you want for yourself and the growth that you want. And this is for anybody at any age, at any stage of where you are. And coaching powerfully supports that process. So let's start there. Let's start with that. What personal development really is. When people hear the words personal development, they often think about motivation, positive thinking, reading books, attending workshops and conferences, conventions, setting goals, and journaling. Yeah, journaling. And yes, all those things are absolutely a part of it. But personal development is much deeper than self-improvement trends. Let me be clear on that. Personal development is the lifelong process of becoming more aware of who you are and how you think, how you respond, and what you believe, and your values, and how you intentionally grow or want to grow. It is about developing the internal life skills. I love that one, that shape your external results. Yeah, you've heard me talk about life skills a lot on this show because life skills help to boost and help every step you make through personal development. It includes your mindset, your habits, your emotional patterns and communication, your confidence, and we talk about that a lot, your boundaries, the resilience you have, and the ability to navigate change, because those are very valuable to be able to work through in your personal development growth. So, personal development can ask deeper questions like, who am I becoming? What patterns are helping me? And what patterns are hurting me? And what do I need to strengthen who I am? What do I need to gain strength? And what do I need to release? And you've heard me speak about that before too, because sometimes there are things we have to just let go. There are things that we have to just say goodbye to. It is not about becoming someone else. Personal development is not like trying to be a new person or someone else. It's about becoming more of intentional of who you are and hold, and becoming more aligned and more equipped to live your life with clarity and purpose. That is what personal development is. You want to be whole. You want to be intentional. You want to be more aligned and equipped to live your life with clarity and with purpose. So here's the truth. That kind of work can be difficult to do alone. Sometimes the mindset that is needed and needs to be changed is often, the one assessing the situation and or evaluating it. So you need some help, because the blind spots are there because we do not always see them. The habits hold us back because we're not often normal to feel the feedback that we do get, so we don't feel like we're up to par with it. And the stories we tell ourselves can become so familiar that we mistake them for the truth. And that is the truth. We can say a lot of things to ourselves, and we say it so much until we actually believe it and we think it's the truth. And that is where coaching becomes so valuable to you. So I hope I have made that first point clear. So then you say, okay, now we know about personal development. So what does coaching do? What coaching really does is it's coaching is not about someone fixing your life. Let's be clear on that. And it is not about someone telling you who to be. You've heard me say that before. And coaching is not about control, pressure, or judgment. A life coach does not do that. No. We're here to support and to help. True coaching is a developmental partnership. And I've talked enough about that on this show that you've heard me say it's a partnership. It is a process that helps you think more clearly, see more honesty, and act intentionally to grow more effectively. Coaching creates a space where you can pause long enough to really examine your life, your choices, your beliefs, your goals, and your patterns. And that's where a life coach helps you, because coaching helps you to get into that space where you want to be. And you can examine your life. And you say, well, Gloria, what do you mean by examine your life, your choices? Sometimes you have to pause and sit long enough to see how you are living. Yeah, I say it all the time. We have to be careful about how we live. Yeah. In this day and time, we really have to pay attention to how we live. And when that coaching creates that space for you long enough to examine your life, and if you're not taking time to pause and sit still and examine your life and looking at the choices that you're making and what are you believing and where did you get these beliefs from, or even to look at your goals and to look at your patterns, your habits. If you want to see a structure of development for yourself. We're talking about self-improvement, self-development. And all of this, it gives structure to your development when you pay attention to these things. It gives language to what you may have felt but never fully expressed. And that's true. Sometimes we have had feelings and we hold stuff in us and we haven't had an opportunity or a chance to express it, or someone that you felt safe and confident enough to express it to. So coaching, it gives perspective when you are too close to your own situation. And it provides accountability so your growth does not remain just theoretical. Yeah, that's what coaching does. Because when you have someone that is coaching you, that you have a partnership, there's also some accountability, and accountability is very, very important. Because if you have a person that your responsibility is to let them know how you're doing, what's going on, what you're thinking about, how close are you to reaching your goals. Have any of those bad habits stopped? When you have to be accountable for what you're doing to someone, first to be accountable to yourself, but most importantly, if you're having someone to coach you through these situations, it's extremely important that you have this because, it depends on your growth. And that matters because many people know what they want, but struggle to move toward it consistently. Yeah, consistently. You have to be consistent in your path and your goals to where you want to go. Once you identify them and there's clarity there, the consistency. Because once you find that, you know that your boundaries are there and you know that whatever needs to be stronger, or if there needs to be any boundaries set at all. And they need to be more in line with your self-doubt for keeping interrupting your progress. And sometimes those boundaries are some of the hardest things, I think, for us to deal with, because we think they're there to help and support, and we just don't always know how to get around those boundaries and how to work through them. And coaching helps close that gap. It helps between the knowledge and the application of it. It builds a trust. And so you can stop procrastinating or making different choices. And especially if you're having to be accountable about continuing to do things that that aren't good, aren't healthy, and aren't on a very positive path with you, that accountability, it makes a big difference. So coaching helps close that gap between the knowledge and the application of it. It helps move personal development from something you admire into something you practice. And we've talked about that before. Sometimes people think that personal development is like, oh, wow, I really want to do this. I really have all these things in mind that I want to do. And I would love to be able to do this. But you can stop wishing and you can start doing it and making it a part of your life. If you admire it so much, then make it something that you practice. Yeah, you can practice personal development. Everything I talked about before is something that you can create the practice of. And I guess that's why I love what I do and I enjoy what I do, and I can speak to what I do in terms of not only this show, but being a life coach, because when you can help people to see something that they admire and show them how they can practice to get better and achieve it, that's a milestone. And that's what we call accomplishment. And that is one of the most powerful connections between coaching and personal development. It's when a coach can get you to a point where you admire it, you want it, and we establish a partnership that brings about the powerful connections. And you can do it. It does happen. There are so many success stories out there. And, really, if the truth be told, when you look at people that you may think they're promising people in the world, whether they're celebrities, athletes, or other people that you have admired, I'll bet if you have an honest conversation, they can tell you two things they've had in their life: a coach, or maybe many coaches and many different things, and a mentor, and or both. I'll guarantee it. If you talk to anyone that you have admired and you've watched, and from afar we see celebrities and athletes, and as I mentioned before, but I'm speaking of even in your own life, your own circle, your own surroundings, they had powerful connections. They had support. They had something built around them. And again, I'll bet there was some coaching and there was some mentoring to help them to establish and appreciate having personal development to achieve what they want to achieve. I'll be willing to guarantee that that has happened in their life. So then that brings us to another point. Coaching builds self-awareness. So that's, again, a part of the partnership, because that coach is going to help you to build that self-awareness to help you in your development process. One of the first and most important ways coaching connects with personal development is through self-awareness. You cannot grow beyond what you are unwilling to see. You cannot grow beyond what you are unwilling to see. You have to want to see it. And in order to see it, you've got to work towards some self-awareness so you know what to look at, what you're looking at. You cannot change a pattern that you do not recognize. So being aware of a pattern that is unhealthy, unsafe, not productive, not doing you any service at all, you have to see that and be willing to change it. And you cannot build a healthier life on top of unexamined assumptions. Yeah, unexamined. I say unexamined because, again, we're examining our life, our lifestyle, who we are, who we hang out with, our habits, what we do, where we go, and even what we eat, the activities and social life that we have. These are all things that make up a part of your life. There's some things that you just do, and you just do automatically because you've done them for so long, and whether it's a good habit, a bad habit, but you have to be more intentional about being self-aware, because that is the foundational point that you're going to look at to see. And coaching helps us to slow down enough to notice this within ourselves. That's what coaching does. But you have to be willing to see. Because if you're living a life and you say, I love what's going on with me, it's not perfect, but hey, I'm getting by. If that's what you want, but if you want more, I'm talking to people who really, really want self-development, self-improvement, and they are willing to listen to what it takes to go through personal development and coaching to get there. That's who this message is for. Yeah. And self-awareness is the key. Coaching helps people slow down long enough to notice themselves. It really does. Because coaching will help you to pause. Coaching will give you some examples of right in front of your face. Yeah, a coach will do that. A coach may ask questions like, "What story are you telling yourself here?" Because we tell ourselves a lot of stories. I mean, we say a lot of things that we really think are true. So, coach might ask you, "What story are you telling yourself? And why does this situation keep coming up, keep repeating?" I've been in sessions and I've listened and I listen and I listen and I listen and I'm hearing the same thing. Okay, didn't we have this talk before? So, why are you still there? Why are you still dealing with that situation? Is the awareness not enough? Did something not kick in? Why does the situation keep repeating itself? What are you avoiding? Yeah, a coach will ask those questions. What do you believe this means about you or for you? Yeah, we ask those powerful questions that give you time to think. What are you tolerating that no longer aligns with your life? And you say you want more. A coach will ask you that. Because if you're still repeating things, still in the same situation, still going through what you're going through, and a coach will ask you, what are you tolerating that no longer aligns with you? It no longer serves you. It could be a habit. It could be a place you're going to, something you're involved with. And I hate to say it, it could be a relationship. You know, and these are things you have to become aware of. What could you be doing to do better? Those questions matter because personal development is not just about adding new habits. Sometimes it's about uncovering the old patterns and the ones you have. And that's why I'm saying the awareness of what you're doing. You know, we're not trying to bring something in for you to do. What we're trying to do is make you aware of stuff that's going on and uncover the old patterns. Sometimes it is about recognizing fear that is disguised as logic. Yeah. And this is again the mindset and what's in the mind. Sometimes you are fearful of things and your logic is like, it's okay still because it's just, in your mind you're still thinking it's okay. But really you're afraid of this, and that's why the awareness kicks in and you thought, "Oh wow, I didn't really realize that I was doing this and that it was impacting me so greatly." It's often about noticing how, if you're trying to reach perfection and if you are always a people pleasing person and you're always overthinking or, self protection, has influenced your life. Yeah. Sometimes people who are perfectionists and they think that they have to please everybody or certain people, a people pleasing person. Yeah, everything. And then they're always overthinking how to overdo this. And it can be a job, it could be association with someone, and these are things that's put in a self protection mode because they've been most of the time influences in your life. Yeah, a coach will help you to identify that because sometimes in life we live a life that can be so blatantly influenced by our environment, our situation, our circumstances. Yeah, and that's the truth. So once you see it and you begin to work with it, then the power of awareness arrives and it settles in. And then you work through it. Because once you know how to work through the power of awareness, yeah, awareness can be powerful and it can do some amazing changes in your life. Amazing changes. Coaching shines a light on what has been operating in the background of your life. That's the key tip. It does. Coaching shines that light on what's been going on with you in your life. Because in a coaching session or in a coaching program, we're going to bring out those things so that you can see them. And once you become aware, you gain choice. You have some choices. And that is where freedom begins. That's what a coaching program does. And when you become aware, you have choices. And that is where freedom begins. So let's take a break. Please don't go anywhere. I'm going to come right back in a few minutes. And when we come back, I'm going to pick up and talk about how coaching supports your mindset development. So please stay tuned. I'll be back in a minute.
Do you ever feel stuck? Like you know you are capable of more, but you are not quite sure how to move forward? Gloria Sloan's life coaching program is designed to help individuals break through limiting beliefs, build self-confidence, and gain clarity both in their personal and professional development. Through personalized coaching, Gloria works one-on-one with clients to create clear plans, strengthen mindsets, and reconnect them with their purpose. Gloria's life coaching program is virtual, flexible, and results-driven, with a supportive structure designed to keep you focused, accountable, and moving forward with confidence and momentum. Clients gain clarity, confidence, and the tools needed to unlock their full potential from the inside out. Gloria's belief that ultra-successful people are always learning and seeking new ways to find fulfillment and elevate personal development is what drives her fierce dedication to her clients. Are you ready for your next chapter to begin? All it takes is one powerful decision. Make that decision now and visit www.gloriasloan.com and book your consultation call today. Gloria's ready when you are. It's time to begin your journey.
Hello, and welcome back to the Gloria Show. Thank you again so much for joining me today as we are talking about how coaching connects and works with personal development. So now I want to spend a few minutes talking with you about coaching and how it supports the mindset development, because this is a very critical point as well. You heard me talk about how so many things you become aware, and I think it's important to talk about the mindset development part of how coaching supports you to get there. Because one of the clearest ways to develop it in your own self is your mindset has to be in it. Because the way we think shapes the way we live. And remember that. The way you think shapes the way you live. And again, we've talked about patterns and we've talked about habits and things you're accustomed to doing. But you have to recognize at some point that these are things that are shaping your life and how you live. And if you've been doing them forever and you grew up, well, people say that, oh, I grew up doing this. This is how I was brought up. Okay, look at those values. If you were brought up doing things that are value-based and they align with your life, then that's different. But if you are living with something that you brought up with that is a negative, that is not good, it's not productive, and that's holding you back, and if it has not shaped you into the way that you want to go and the path that you want to be in, and it's not too late to identify that. It really isn't. And you've heard me talk about that too. Yeah. At any point in your life, no matter all of the milestones, all of the things that have happened to you that are good, and if you still are finding that it's not totally the path of what you want to do, there's not any way that you can say, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. You can. You can look at how your life has been shaped and how you are living. And I'm not getting personal in anybody's life. You've made the choices, and we talked about choices earlier, and you live in the life that you want to live, good, bad, happy, or indifferent. But our beliefs shape our expectations. And I think I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I'm big on expectations. Because the more you expect of yourself and how you want to be and carry yourself and act and look and live, you're going to work a little bit harder to shape that path. And our beliefs shape our expectations. And our expectations influence our decisions. And that's a fact. Because whatever you're influenced to do, you're going to be making the decisions and the choices that are going to affect that daily. And our decisions create the results. Yeah. The decisions that you make and have made have created some of the biggest results that you're currently living in. Absolutely. Yeah, think about it for a minute. Whether it's your job, your occupation, what you do, where you live, the people you hang out with, your social environment, your personal relationships, and the relationships you have with members of your family. Yeah, the decisions that you have made that created those results. If you decided that, well, I don't really want to be a part of this anymore. I don't like going over there anymore. I don't really want to go to dinner with them. I don't want to spend any time. But you're making that decision and you're creating the results. So when somebody say, oh, you missed out, why weren't you there? You made the decision. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you become aware. And these are things that for so long or all your life has shaped your life. Because sometimes you feel like, oh, God, I was made to do this. I had to do this. I didn't have a choice. But then when you got older, better, more informed, more educated, and more able to control and be involved in your own decisions, did you continue to do those things that you kept getting the same influences and the same results? If someone believes they are not capable, they may hesitate to try. If you don't feel like you're capable of doing something, you're not going to try it. So the self-awareness, the self-confidence, if someone believes failure defines them, they're going to always avoid it because they don't want to take the risk. Yeah. If you believe that failure is always something you're going to have, you don't want to risk it. If they believe that what they say and their voice doesn't matter, and sometimes that happens. People, they begin to say, nobody's going to listen to me anyway, so why should I say this? They stay very silent. They don't speak up for themselves. If you don't speak up for yourself, you're certainly not going to speak up for anybody else. But you have to decide if those are the decisions that you're making that's creating the results that you want out of that situation. Sometimes people believe that growth should, how can I say this, always feel easy. Yeah. Sometimes people think it's an easy step or an easy ride, and they quit the moment that it becomes uncomfortable. If you have always had a cushion in your life, I say a cushion, somebody that's always kind of like just been there to push you along, to get you along the way, and it's been an easy sailing. Yeah, life's been good, Gloria. I didn't have to do all that. It's been good for me. Life has been good. Congratulations. I'm happy for you that you have had a good, easygoing life. But then when things get rough, begin to get a little uncomfortable, you realize it wasn't as easy as you thought it was. So that's when the mindset matters. Because when reality kicks in and when you realize, you say, oh my goodness, I don't know why I continued to do this when it didn't serve me well. And I don't know why. And a coach is sitting there giving you the opportunity to talk and spill your heart out about the matter or the situation. Because in your mind, you have built up such a mindset in your mind that it is just difficult and hard for anybody to get through. Mindset matters. And coaching helps us examine the beliefs that are influencing our lives. Coaching, a good coaching program to help, to identify, to align, to find awareness. A coach helps you to identify those limiting beliefs, to challenge the way you're thinking, and to help you to recreate in your mind, your mindset, a more positive way of thinking that is more powerful to what you want and empowering to how you see yourself and your circumstances. A coach is going to help you to do that. A coach is going to help you to see yourself in a better situation and a better circumstance. They're going to help you. I can help you. This is not about pretending that everything is easy. And it's not about forced positivity. It's not about somebody trying to tell you and make you do anything. It's about learning how to think in ways that support growth rather than sabotage it. Because when you sabotage situations, they're gone. You're always trying to fix them. Coaching isn't about that. It's about helping you to think in ways that support growth. Yeah, helping you to think in ways that are positive. So it means, asking questions. Is this belief true? All these years and all this time, Gloria, I've been thinking this. Are you trying to tell me that it's not true? I'm just saying it's what you believe. It's how you've lived. Just ask yourself. Is it helping you? Has it helped you? And if it has, you begin to look at the pros and the cons. What did it do for you? What didn't it do for you? How did it hold you back? And where did it come from in the beginning? And if it no longer serves you, if it no longer fits you and you still believe in it, but you continue to want to do it, you have an opportunity to sit down in a coaching program and talk about these things and put it all out on the table in a private, confidential matter where someone is not passing judgment, but they're listening to you, giving you an opportunity to see your life in full bloom. Yeah. See your life in full bloom in an environment that is challenging and difficult for you to do with maybe someone else that's closer to you. And that person isn't a coach. They're just someone that they're a good friend. They're a confidant. They're somebody you can tell anything to. And maybe they're an advisor. And, that's okay to have a good friend and a person that you can connect with like that. But I am talking about a professional coaching program that is designed specifically to help you to achieve your goals, to look at what you believe in, why you believe in it, how long you've believed in it, and if your belief is still serving the lead in your life? Is it still giving you what you want? Is it aligned with everything you want and where you want to go and what you want to do? That is the work of personal development. That's when personal development kicks in, and coaching gives you a process for doing it intentionally. Yeah, and I say intentionally because here again, you've heard me talk about when you build your life around living intentionally, you intentionally want to do better, have more, be more. You have to have that mindset that that's what you want at any stage, at any age, and any stage. And I've said it before, even if you have acquired all that you have, you want, but you still want to have some intentional aspects that you could do in your life, and you still want to incorporate them. Yeah. And you may want to do it because it might help someone else. What you're doing and finding intentionally in your own life could be an asset to someone else. Coaching turns intentional living into action. This is one of the biggest reasons coaching is so connected to personal development, because coaching helps people move from intention to action. Many people genuinely want to grow. They want to be more disciplined, more focused, more emotionally healthy, more confident, more aligned. But intention without action, you get frustrated. You say, oh, yeah, I really want to do this, but something is wrong. Something's not connecting here. Because the action is the reflection that, you need to help you. Coaching helps bridge the gap between the two. So it asks, what is your next step? What are you committed to? What would progress look like for you this week? We all look at these things at the end of the week, and you can check off and you say, what's your win for the week? What needs to change in your habits, your patterns, and not just your hopes? Sometimes people just hope, 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 hope. You wish, 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 wish. But what are you doing? What are you doing to really make that happen? Because personal development requires practice. Confidence grows through us. Self-trust grows when we keep promises to yourself. If you make yourself a promise, you have to keep it. Because emotional maturity grows when you respond differently than when you used to. You're growing, you're maturing. And personal development in practice helps you to get there. That confidence grows, and it's through action. You have to act it. You have to act the part, speak the part, be the part, and then you grow. And then you'll look at yourself one day and you say, wow, I'm here. There are breakthroughs, not just one-time breakthroughs. They're practices. And coaching helps people stay connected to those practices long enough to real change, to see it happen. And that's why coaching can accelerate personal development. Yeah, that's why if you want to get into a coaching program that is connected to your personal development goals, that growth can help you by supporting the personal development that you're looking at in that pattern. It keeps growth from becoming vague, if I can say it like that. Coaching can help it accelerate, help you to see that. It's practical and it's measurable and it's personal. Yeah, coaching can be a practice that it's measurable. You can see it. Yeah, you know when you're doing good. You know when you're getting to a better place and in a better space. You'll recognize that because you're going to be more aware of it. Now, you heard me talk about accountability. I want to say just a minute about this before we end the show. Accountability with compassion. And that's a part of, I want to incorporate that into life skills development. Now, let's talk about accountability because you heard me mention it earlier. Because when people hear that word, they think pressure. And you heard me say when you're in a coaching program or you're having someone, a mentor or someone in you, and you have to be accountable to them, you feel, oh, this is where they're going to be criticizing me and they're going to be calling me out for what I did or did not do. But healthy coaching accountability is different. And there is a difference. Healthy coaching accountability is rooted in truth and compassion. It's not about punishing you for being human and being yourself. It's not that. We all make mistakes. We all come up short. But the accountability is to help with the self-development and the improvement. And when you have someone that you are accountable to that has your best interests at heart, it's about helping you stay aligned with what matters the most to you. And that's what the key thing that I like for people to say. If you're going to be accountable, it's got to matter to you. And if you have fallen short or did something, then it's going to come back on you. But you have to speak to that because it's your life. You see, you are living your life. It is your life, yours, nobody else's. Nobody can live you like you. And a coach is not there to shame you because you had a difficult week or you made mistakes and do that. No, we're not going to do that. A coach is there to help you notice what happened, understand the pattern of why it happened, and reconnect with your values and begin to put it back into an intentional space for you. That's what a coach is going to do. No, it's not about scolding you through the accountability process. And it's not about pointing the finger and say, no, it's not. It's about being there for you to listen, to help you reconnect with your values, and to see if your actions were intentional, and to begin again in the process. You can keep doing and trying until you keep getting it. You can do this. So that is the most powerful way that people get out of struggling with personal development. Because when you struggle in personal development, you have to examine where you are. Because struggle happens in life. It does. Yeah, struggle happens and failures happen. And it can be doubt, fear, fatigue, habits. And without support, many people slip into self-criticism and they stop. And I've seen this a lot. Yeah. When you don't have the support that you want, you need, you just feel that you just want to stop. You want to give up. Coaching interrupts that cycle for you. It says, let's look at this honestly. Be honest with yourself. Let's learn from it. Let's decide what matters now and keep it moving. That's what coaching does. Well, you've seen coaching in action, whether it's, you're watching a coach in a ball game or you're doing something. They say, let's keep it going. They build it up, the trust. You can do this. You can do this. Coaching also develops the essential life skills in you. Yeah, I'm big on life skills. I wrote a book about life skills. I talk about life skills all the time because life skills are essential. Skills such as self-awareness, decision-making, communication, emotional regulation, confidence, I can keep naming them, resilience, goal setting, time management, the boundaries we keep, problem solving, self discipline. Yeah, I know about essential life skills. I wrote a book on it, and I'm here to support that 110% plus in my coaching programs because they all matter and make a difference, and they are very essential, all of them. These are what I call life shaping capacities. And when you have life shaping capacities, these are skills that are understood. People often feel stuck, overwhelmed, and disconnected from themselves. These are all essential skills that help you to bring about that focus and awareness. And the issue may not look external, but often the needed development is internal. And once those inner skills begin to grow and outer life shifts to, hey, you're on a roll, that is why coaching is not just about solving a problem, but it focuses on developing the individual living the life, like I said, your life. We're going to take one more quick break before we end the show. And when we come back, I'm going to summarize some things we talked about. And we're going to end on a note of how coaching helps people to grow through the transition. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you growing in the direction of your aspirations? Did you know your life's journey is shaped by the choices you make today? Now is the time to invest in yourself to grow, elevate, and upgrade your life. In Life Skills for the Journey, Gloria Sloan offers a transformational guide to unlocking your full potential. Blending practical tools, inspirational wisdom, and proven life skills, this book empowers you to take control of your future with confidence and clarity. From decision-making to self-discovery, from vision to action, this book is your blueprint for personal growth. And now, you can go deeper with the Life Skills for the Journey Companion Workbook, a powerful tool filled with practical exercises, reflective prompts, and engaging challenges designed to help you apply these principles to your own life. Your personal development is your life. It's your evolution. Take the next steps in becoming the best version of yourself. Your journey starts now. With Life Skills for the Journey and its companion workbook, it's time to invest in yourself and lead the life you were meant to live. Available now on Amazon.
Hello and welcome back again. Before we end the show, I want to have a few more things that I want to share with you about coaching and about personal development, about how it helps through the transitions, because that is another connection between coaching and personal development. Because life transitions, and it helps us to reveal who we are. And that's when a lot of times we see career changes, we see transitions through loss, leadership growth, health challenges, relationship shifts. Yeah, starting a business, reinventing yourself, stepping into something new, or leaving something behind that's familiar. These moments often stir up uncertainty and fear. And then you say, well, who am I now that I've got almost like a new life? It's a transition. What do I want next? What matters in this new season? And how can I trust myself? Transitions are developed by nature. And that's why we have to keep going. You have to sometimes let go. And they ask us to grow into new versions of ourselves. A transition will help you to grow into new versions. Sometimes you have no choice because you're transitioning. And so that does mean you're on a growth path. And coaching helps many people navigate those moments through clarity to help you to get through that. Coaching creates space for reflection. It requires time to notice what's happening to you. You stay busy, active, moving. Coaching creates intentional space. You heard me say that. And it gives permission for you to process who you are and how you want to live and to pause and think about it. Support, alignment, and personal responsibility is important. So many people reach to a point where they need support and they need to be guided. So coaching can do that. Coaching supports that alignment, the new alignment that you're looking for in your life. But coaching is also a catalyst. It's not a substitute. It's not for personal responsibility. I mean, it's not a substitute for that. It's coaching is to help you. It is to help you. And a coach will ask those defining questions to help you steer you in the right direction, to help encourage and guide you. Because your personal development is not passive. It asks for your willingness, your courage, your consistency, and honesty. And that's where the real transformation takes place and takes root. So I know I've said a lot and given you a lot of information today, and that was intentional. That's what this whole episode has been all about, coaching and personal development and why they work together. So when we ask, how does the coaching connection with personal development really work? Coaching gives personal development structure. It gives support, reflection, accountability, and it gives it language. It has a language all of its own. And it gives movement. And we need that movement to have action, to see progress. Personal development is the journey of becoming who you are, who you want to be. And coaching is one of the tools that helps guide that journey with greater awareness intentionally. And it helps people see themselves more clearly, think more truthfully, choose more wisely and consistently, and live a life that is aligned with who they are and who they want to become. So if you're on a personal development journey right now and you want to get to where you want to go, I encourage you, do not focus only on how far you still have to go. Take time to honor what you are learning. Honor the awareness you're gaining. Honor the questions that you're working through and still asking. Honor the patterns that you no longer want to carry and you want to let them go. And honor the courage that it takes to grow. Because personal development is not always loud. It pauses from time to time, and all these things can make life much easier and better for you. Your worth matters. You matter. Your journey deserves intention. Thank you so much for watching the Gloria Show today. If today's episode inspired you, go ahead, like, share, and follow so you'll always stay connected and you'll never miss an upcoming show. And you can do that at gloriasloan.com. And also, you can grab your free ebook while you're at gloriasloan.com. Everything I want and nothing that I don't. It's packed with insights to help you create more clarity, freedom, and alignment in your life. I'll leave you with this. Ultra successful people never stop reaching for new heights and finding fulfillment to elevate personal development. They keep growing, learning, shining. And so until next time, continue to keep doing that. And we will have another impactful episode in 2 weeks to gain more clarity, more awareness. So until next time, thanks again for joining me, and goodbye for now.
You've been listening to The Gloria Show. Be sure to check out www.gloriasloan.com for more tools, strategies, and inspiration. And don't forget to connect with Gloria on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep moving toward your best self.